And my name is AndrewCriswell. I'm here with
Yeshua.
Yeshua. Hold on, man. Just roll it back today. I'm with Yeshua. I'm talking about Black History today. So my question for you today is, in 1965, Malcolm X was killed for his display of black power. In 1968, Martin Luther King was assassinated for uniting black power. And in 1970, the Black Panther Party was killed and dismantled from establishing black power. Since none of these leaders are in position anymore, what happened to being my brother's keeper?
So I got to go back, to answer that question. And I'm not going back to the 60s. I'm not going back to the 50s, the 70s, or anything like that. I'm going back thousands of years. So my perspective is, I'm coming from, I don't know what all the other interviews, before me came on with, but I'm coming from a scriptorial perspective. When I say scriptorial, I'm talking about what in America people know as the Bible. So from that perspective, we have a book that probably everybody have at their home. Not too many people read, not too many people know what's in it, especially people that grew up going to church and things like that. So from that perspective, when I read the Bible, when I read the scriptures, it talks about a people called Israel, all throughout the scriptures. And these people called Israel is a nation of people. These people was and is the Almighty's chosen people, right? So this is gonna lead up to everything that was in that museum, right in the next room, everything that we been through as a people, everything in this country. This people called Israel, when we read the scriptures, the Almighty said, "You are my chosen people. I'm gonna give you all these laws to do. If you do these laws, I'm gonna bless you in all these different ways," right? So for those that may want to read along, they could go to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, right? And in that chapter, you're gonna find where the Almighty said exactly that. For this nation of people, he's not talking about the whole world, he's talking about one nation of people called Israel. And he said, but if you don't keep my laws, I'm gonna curse you in all these different ways, right? And so this was during the times of Moses. Moses died and the Almighty let him know, look, you gonna die, and now your people in the latter days, in the last days, they're gonna break my laws, and all of these curses are gonna come upon them, right? And so when we read the curses, then we realize this is only talking about the black man in America, right? So the curses say this, it says, you're gonna be put on slave ships, you're gonna be taken to a land far away that's not yours, you're not gonna be able to understand the people's language that are speaking to you, they're gonna put yokes of iron on your neck, they're gonna take your babies away at a young age and sell them to another man. And you look at slavery, and then you look at what is written in the Bible, that the Almighty prophesied that these curses would come upon our people for one simple reason, for not keeping his commandments, right? And so it also says things like, after he named all these curses from verse 16 all the way to verse 68, he tell you all these things. And when we search all around the world, we're the only group of people as a nation that fits all these things, right? So I'm saying the black man in America, the black man in Cuba, the black man in Haiti, the black man in South America, Brazil, we all came to the Western Hemisphere on these same slave ships. So we are the same nation of people. We were sold to the white man by the black Africans. Africans are not our people. You could tell even when you look at them, we're both black. We're both two different black nations, just like Germans are not the same as Italians, right? So I'm getting at that to say this. So the Almighty also prophesied this is a curse that's gonna lead to the question that you asked. Where is the Malcolm X's, the Martin Luther Kings, and people like that, right? So one person that you didn't mention was Marcus Garvey. I feel like if anybody would have redeemed our people from the condition we was in, it would have been Marcus Garvey, right? Because he had actually ships that they bought, and he was planning on taking millions and millions of black people from this country back to Africa. I believe it was specifically Liberia, which was a land set up for descendants of slaves in Africa, right? But the U.S. government stopped him. They stopped him from doing it, they stopped him from leaving, and deported him back to Jamaica, right? So they always say, if you don't like this country, leave. Well, our people was willing and ready to leave, right, and they stopped the whole mission, you know what I'm saying? So, but one of the curses in Deuteronomy 28, the Almighty said this. This is how you know this book is not written by any man. It's written by the Most High, and the Most High inspired these men to write what they wrote, because no man could have been able to tell you thousands of years before this happened, everything that will happen to a people, right? So again, one of the curses was that when I bring all these curses upon you, no man will be able to save you or redeem you out of these curses. So now that touches on the Malcolm X's, the Martin Luther Kings, because all they were really trying to do was redeem us out of the situation that the Almighty put us in. And the Almighty put us in that situation for disobeying him, right? So it's a scripture in the Bible where the Almighty said, look, since you as a people, the nation of Israel, the true nation of Israel, who is us, since you want to worship false gods in my land, I'm going to kick you out of my land. And now you're going to now you're going to serve other people in a land that is not yours, right? So everything we do, we're literally serving other people. We're serving Europeans in this land. So when he let our people know that you will be, no man will be able to redeem you, that speaks to Martin Luther King, because he was trying to redeem us from the curses the Almighty put us in. So as us, as the nation of Israel, Martin Luther King was trying to make us equal. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm X was trying to make us equal. We can't never be equal to anybody. The Almighty in Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6 says, we supposed to be above every single nation upon the face of the earth. He never made this whole thing about all men are created equal. That's an American thing. That's not reality. You know what I'm saying? And so, but he said, look, but since you disobey my commandments, now I'm gonna curse you. Now you're not gonna be the special people above other people. Now you're gonna be below the other people. When you need money, you're gonna have to borrow from them and they're gonna lend to you. You know what I'm saying? So trying to put us on an equal playing field with anybody, we were supposed to be above. But since we're not above at this time and the Almighty punishing us right now we gotta be below. But we'll never be equal to anybody. We're either above or below. It was meant for us to be above. But again, the disobedience from the curses, now we below the other people. But it's only for a certain amount of time. You know what I'm saying? Like it prophesies the amount of time.
So do you feel like now, okay, I understand what you're saying. Do you feel like now as a people, we're still in that same predicament as being cursed? Because I feel like as of now in America, I mean, in our reality, we really don't have, okay, put it like this, I'm 28 years old, you know what I'm saying? In our reality, I've never dealt with a racist police officer. In our reality, I've never dealt with somebody being blatantly racist to me. Anytime I had a situation to where, you know, it was something with a police officer, I really was doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? And I was trying to talk my way out of it and it escalated. You know what I'm saying? So do you still feel that we got change around us now? Because I feel like the opportunity for a black man is more than an opportunity for a white man at this point.
Gotcha. So we're definitely still cursed. We're definitely still under the curse. Basically, it's like this. We're actually, to be perfectly honest, we're still in captivity. It's just not chattel slavery, right? Chattel slavery was, they got yokes of iron on your neck, you know what I'm saying? You in a plantation and stuff like that, but we're still serving this other nation, right? So it's like this, are we still cursed? Pretty much is the question, right? You haven't experienced too much racism in your life, right? So the Almighty talks to the nation of Israel as a nation of people, not just one individual, right? But to prove to you that we're still in the same condition and the same predicament, right? If we walk outside of this room, we walk outside all over the streets of this city, you could bump into every white person and ask them what's their nationality. They're gonna be able to tell you their nationality. They're gonna say, I'm German, I'm French, I'm Italian, right? If they say I'm German, we gonna connect that back to Germany. You connect that to a land, a language, a whole entire heritage that they can go back thousands of years. You ask the next white person, what are you? He gonna say, I'm Italian. Where did Italian come from? Italy. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see Japanese Americans, Chinese Americans, they can all tell you who they are and where they connect to, right? I asked the average black person that don't know the information they gonna say I'm black. There's no land called the black land we connect to, right? African American, you can't be from over there and over here. These are two different continents, right?
What about as far as build something here? Because a lot of guys in my age group, if you ask me to go back to Africa right now, I'm going to tell you no. Yeah. Because I've become complacent. I don't know anything else. You know what I'm saying? I've become complacent in living in when you say American lifestyle, if you want to call it, or whatever, a black American lifestyle.
Right.
But why would I want to go back to that?
So it's like this. I'm gonna go back to this scripture, right? So these scriptures, they answer every single question. So it's like this, same chapter, Deuteronomy 28. And I want anybody to read that whole entire chapter and tell me that that's not talking about us, right? So also the Almighty said this, when he prophesied that these people will bring us to another land on slave ships, they're gonna take our children away. We're not gonna understand their language. We didn't understand their language when we first got over here, right? He also said this, them same yokes of iron, he said, they're gonna put a yoke of iron on your neck. Everybody know what that is, right? Like that yoke, and then a chain going from my neck to your neck, a yoke like a cow guy. He said they're gonna put a yoke of iron on your neck until they have destroyed you. So the scripture is saying that yoke of iron is gonna come off your neck once you are destroyed. So what does that mean once you are destroyed? I'm gonna give you an example, right? If you got a dog, you keep a dog in this room, every time you try to go out that room, you shock him, right? Electric fence to shock him. He know not to go that far. If you keep that shock on him for 100 years, 200 years, I know they don't live that long, but just hypothetically, right? Then that dog ain't gonna never try to go out that room. And that's the state that you grew up in living in America, right? Because you never was told your true nationality, your true language, your true heritage, the true holidays you should be keeping. Like me and my family, this brother and a whole bunch of other brothers and sisters that we gather with and commune with, we don't keep Christmas, we don't keep Easter, we don't keep Halloween, we don't keep nothing that our people grew up with in this country. Because we literally turn back to who we are, right? Before the Europeans put us on these slave ships, what was our names? What language did we speak? What culture did we have? What holy days did we keep, right? Because all of these things are destroying us. So you and the people your age, if they didn't grow up with this truth, then they just like the dog that ain't gonna go out that room. You could take the shock off and he could run right out and go wherever you wanna go. But your mind state, a lot of people's mind state is, no, I gotta stay right here because this, and you don't even know that it's so much better on the other side being really free. You know what I'm saying? So this whole land was taken over by the Europeans, was taken over by the Native Americans, and it was set up for white people and white people's prosperity. Like they literally say that in their own constitution. It was never meant for us. We wasn't even considered a human being. You know what I'm saying? We was considered 1/3, 1/5 of a person or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And that was after a while. At first we was considered nothing, like you said, like livestock. You know what I'm saying? So what the Most High has for us is totally better than that. You know what I'm saying? It's to not be subservient to another people all the time. And so our people think they free because they were told they was free because they don't know what real freedom is. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole nother mind state that you gotta get at and look at, and you'll realize what real freedom is. And everything we've been told in this country, the people have lied to us, like everything. And it keep us in a docile, subservient state. Like the whole time we're in a state of mind that we shouldn't even be in. Like our people celebrating Thanksgiving, St. Patrick's Day, the 4th of July. None of that has nothing to do with us. These same people, when we celebrate, the 4th of July, it's about the Europeans getting their independence from the other Europeans. The white man in Britain broke away from the other white man in Britain and came to America. That's their Independence Day. You know what I'm saying? Why are we lighting firecrackers and this and that? During 1776, I think, July 4th, 1776, is when they got their Independence Day. Our people were slaves. You know what I'm saying? They was beating us, they was raping our women. You have a baby with a woman, and you say this your wife, and he'll come in and take your baby and sell it to another man in Georgia, and you can live in Texas. You never see your child again.
So you're saying, okay, so you're saying pretty much like, because I go back, I always look at stuff from now and then.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like before, in slavery times, that was a more physical type of thing.
Yeah.
Because now you try that with us now, you're gonna get hurt. As far as like you as a white man, if you try us as young black men, we're going to go above and beyond to hurt you even worse just because you're a white man. Because we're gonna feel more disrespected. I feel now it's more of a mind game with us than that, because in our reality, a lot of white people are nervous around us. To where back in the day, it was us nervous around them because they had the control.
Right.
So do you feel that as far as now, as young men now, I'm not gonna say it not helped us, but as far as now, we're not going for the same thing we went for back in the day, is what I'm trying to say.
I guess.
So just like you saying, like, I couldn't imagine a slave owner or a group of people coming into my neighborhood right now and telling me you're gonna put a chain on me.
Gotcha.
It's not going like that.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? It's not finna happen like that at all. You know what I'm saying? But what is the difference? You know what I'm saying?
The difference is this. What the Almighty said is gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? The scripture said his word does not come back void. So meaning everything the Almighty said, no matter how we feel about it, is gonna happen. And these things are consistently happening. Now, I would say this, as an individual man, black men are strong as individuals, but they're weak in unifying.
Yeah, for sure.
White men are weak as individuals, but they're strong in unifying. Meaning this, if one white man came in here and started trying to push you around, I'm sure you'll handle your business. And 9 times out of 10, you're gonna beat him. You know what I'm saying? The average black man will beat the average white man. Now, if like 100 white men came in, it's 100 black men, for some reason, our people don't stand up like that. You know what I'm saying? And you can see that through the different YouTube videos. I seen a video, not YouTube, but like whatever, like on the internet and different things where like the police was like beating a guy's mother. Like his old mother, like she ain't done nothing for, and they can, only thing our people do is pull out their phones and keep saying stop and yelling at them. But when we go back, what was the Black Panthers doing? That wouldn't happen with them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, you got one more time to swing at her, then we shooting. You know, like that doesn't happen today. That only happened with a black man shooting another black man. The Bloods and the Crips. But when it comes to white people, they don't do that. They don't stand up against white people like that. They don't shoot white people like that. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the mindset. And that's just
I think a whole group of white men can go through the hood and start ransacking some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like the police do it all the time and nobody do that. One-on-one, I can see it.
But
you know?
Yeah, I get that point.
So I think it's still a spiritual thing that's still overshadowing our people until a certain amount of time is up. You know what I'm saying? Until that time is up, everything that book that probably everybody got in their house called the Bible, everything the Most High said was going to happen to his chosen people has happened to us because we as chosen people.
Okay, so question, do you feel like the things that are happening now in this millennium, is it our fault or is it their fault? Because one thing I gotta say when I gotta play devil's advocate here. A lot of stuff that's happening in the world, a lot of the shootings, police killings, police killing black people, in our reality, and this is gonna probably get me in trouble, 70% of the time, the black man is wrong. Even though the white man definitely did something that was totally wrong, in our retrospect, you were wrong too, bro. Like you did something wrong too. Like it'd be a lot of stuff that leads on to like resisting arrest.
Yeah.
If I'm telling you to get off of me, you put your damn whatcom on my neck.
Right.
Yeah, you're wrong, but I'm wrong too because I'm not complying to what you're telling me. You know what I'm saying? Even if I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like okay, the George Floyd thing.
Right.
He stole something from whatever it was supposed to be. That was wrong.
Right.
Regardless of the fact, that was wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now that policeman doing what he did to him, that was wrong.
Right.
But in reality, you gotta look at our mistakes too. We made the mistakes leading up to that point. And I feel like now and nowadays time is more or less like that. Because you got a lot of black leaders and stuff like that that is wearing a mask. I ain't gonna lie to you, it's a lot of people that just doing it just to say they doing it. They're not Martin Luther Kings, they're not Malcolm X's, they're not really putting their heart into it. They doing it because, this camera on.
Right.
Oh, we gonna make it feel like this, camera, we gonna protest, we gonna do this because this and that. But in our reality, go back to what actually happened.
Right.
What pertains to happening to this right here? There's not too many stories that I see to where it's just somebody just openly just killing you. You did something wrong, I'm gonna kill you, black, I'm gonna kill you. You know what I'm saying? It be other stuff that happens before that. So do we blame ourselves? Do we blame them? I mean, who is it that's really to blame here at this point?
So it's like this. We can say both. If we dealing in the physical sense, if we dealing in the spiritual sense, it's our fault. It's only our fault. Because I got to go back to the beginning again. The only thing that everything happened to us as a people is only a result of one thing, not keeping the Most High's commandments. Like that's it. That's the whole entire thing, right? But if we want to come modern day and say, well, I can see that he should have been stealing, I can see X, Y, and Z, right? But we can also name cases where people wasn't doing anything wrong.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like modern cases. But herein lies the difference. The difference is this. Whether the black man did something or not, they never kill white people for that same thing.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You see the same video. White people be cussing the police out, getting up, getting in front of their face and everything. And the police got his gun out. He just backing up, running away. I literally seen police running away from white people with their guns out. So it's like, it's definitely a difference when they deal with us versus how they deal with them. And again, it's all a result of us being who we are. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I would want everybody to really check into, because for me, when I first learned this like many years ago, it answered for me every single question that I had. Like, why is this country always against us being black? Why is this and that happening? Why are all these different things? And this one thing, knowing my true nationality, answer all of those questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, it literally answered everything that I had. Why this happened to us? Why are we number one in diabetes? Every statistic that's bad, we the worst at it. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's health problems, it answered all of that for me. Even I think the sister before me that was speaking and interviewing, she talked about like our family structure, how it's broken down. It answered all of those questions. Now we also got a physical, thing that we could point to as well. Like you could point to the Willie Lynch letter if you're familiar with that. You know what I'm saying? And that thing is still happening even right down till today. You know what I'm saying? So it's spiritual and then it's physical, and it just all come together. You know what I'm saying? It all come together where they made different laws to keep us the way that we are. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different laws called redlining. You familiar with that? Redlining got something to do with whatever you're trying to do. You're trying to buy a house, get credit, all this type of stuff. If you told me earlier the neighborhood you from, right? So that neighborhood got a zip code. Whenever you fill out something and you put that zip code, it's gonna drop you down that you more likely not gonna get what you're trying to get. That's called redlining. You know what I'm saying? So this is what historically this country have always done. It's like racism embedded inside the institution. Meaning when they build a bank, the laws in the bank is racism. When they build a school, when they build everything, the laws in it is racism. You know what I'm saying? Like that. For example, that's just one thing, redline. They did many things like that where you don't even realize, like your zip code mess up your credit. Make your credit worse. You know what I'm saying? Where you shop at and you use your credit card all the time. If you shop at the Kroger's in, say, on Mitchell versus you shop at the Kroger's in Blue Ash consistently, if you shop at the Kroger's in Blue Ash and you consistently use your credit card, your credit score go up. If you consistently shop at the Kroger's on Mitchell and you consistently use your credit card, your credit score go down. Like people don't even know things like that. You know what I'm saying? So this whole country is embedded with racism. And again, I just go back to the beginning. You know what I'm saying? It's all about what the Almighty told us what happened to us. So until we turn back to the Almighty and turn back to His commandments, this same condition will continuously be on our people until we turn back. It ain't about voting. It ain't about money. It ain't about none of that stuff. It's only about one thing that our people have never tried, and that's keeping the Most High's commandments. That's it. It don't seem like it'll work, but it will. So my name is Yeshua. I'm actually an Israelite teacher. Israelite is our nationality. It's a congregation we have called Israel Now. We're located in Cincinnati, Ohio. 8066 Hamilton Avenue is the address. You can check out our YouTube page, which is Israel Now Cincinnati, as ISRAEL NOWW. 2 W's on Now, then Cincinnati. Let's check it out. You know what I'm saying? You'll get this information and much, much more information. That's pretty much it.
AndrewCriswell. I am just a normal guy, doing an interview. Shout out to Brendan Pearl Productions, and we out here.
All right, cool.